How do I make my Blox video thumbnails? Well, today I'm going to show you. So, for this example, I'm going to make a thumbnail for a video called I Broke Into This S&P Strongest Prison. That's going to be the title of the example video. It's not a video. Actually, I might make that an actual video, but this is just going to be an example for now. Oh yeah, by the way, in the comment section, I'll leave a list of ideas that you can do. I have 4 variations of them. Alright, so great. So the first thing you want to know about thumbnails is just simplicity. I see this mistake a lot where they add too many elements to a thumbnail or ways that they look ugly. Example, let's just say you're making a video about the best bedwars map. Here's how most people would do it when they first start. They would add the text, screenshots, they'd add the text at the bottom because it looks better maybe. They would add an arrow PNG they found randomly. This is where you already messed up. So you want to make thumbnails look clean, and you want to make them look good. Don't make your thumbnails look like this, trust me that. If I posted this on my channel, it would get 1,000 views in a day. It sounds like a lot to normal people. My average video gets like 2,000-3,000. If I posted that, that's an estimated. So, let's just say I actually wanted to make a video about the best map. First thing I would do is, let's not even do the best map, let's just do an example. The first thing you want to know about a thumbnail is to make it as simple as possible. A great example is Mr. Beast. The way he makes his thumbnails is actually perfect. Like, actually perfect. They're really simple, but they're really also really good at the same time, and they display exactly what the video is about. Like, you know exactly what the video is just by looking at the thumbnail. And it's so simple, so like your brain can process the thumbnail super fast. And it looks good too. Like, if there was no titles on his thumbnails, you could still perfectly guess what they were. Like, having at least an idea of what they are, and like know what you're gonna watch. So that's one thing about thumbnails, is make them as simple as possible. But there's a few ways to make a thumbnails. Okay, first thing is making text look good. So there's 2 different kinds of text you can do. Let me go to my app real quick. Oh yeah, this app is going to be in the link description. It's called Text Studio. So this is the font I use. I usually search up Fortnite to find it. I don't know why. I guess it's used for Fortnite videos. This is the font I use most of the time. It's called Burbank Big Condensed Black. It's pretty cool. So let's just say I want to make a video called This New Glitch is Insane. Or no, this is the strongest weapon in BloxdMayhems. So there's 2 different types of text you could do, 2 different ways to edit them. Actually, there's really 3, but let me just show you. Let me show you what I mean. It probably sounds so confusing right now. Okay, so the first is this kind of text, which is like the cartoonist, whatever it's called. Second is the more basic text, like this. This is kind of the text that Preston Plays uses for his videos. Both of them set a different tone for the thumbnail, but really, it depends on what thumbnail we're making. If you're making a thumbnail that already doesn't have that many elements, you can have this. Okay, let me just show you a great example real quick. So let's just say you're making a video about the strongest weapon of BloxdMayhems for like some S&P. You figured out a way to make code blocks make some weapons do way more damage than normal. Alright, so let me just take, oh yeah, a quick tip. Whenever you're taking a thumbnail, it's always best to take it in grass, because grass looks better for thumbnails and it usually gets more views. Okay, so let's take that screenshot. Now, I'm not really making this video how to edit. I'm just showing you what to do. Like, you should know how to use these editing apps, because this is a tutorial how to use the editing apps, just so you know. So I'm not going to be teaching you how to use them. Anyways, this right here is the thumbnail so far. Pretty good progress, but no, it's not finished. Okay, so I already decided what text I want to use. I want to use the cartoonist text. So obviously at first this thumbnail doesn't look that good. It kind of looks messy. A trick I use while making thumbnails is blurring the background. For example, using the blur tool, I can blur the background. It actually does increase focus on the main elements. Like, let me blur everything but the sword. In fact, just to make the thumbnail a little bit better. Oh my god, really? No. Just to make the thumbnail a little bit better, let me go right to the sword. Okay, let me change the size of the text. Oh yeah, something to keep in mind when you're editing a video. On YouTube, there's like a time thing right here. And watermark thing right there. Okay, so this right here is the thumbnail so far. As you can see, I'm gonna add an arrow. So yeah, as you can see, it's really simple. So just by looking at this thumbnail, you'll already get a sense of what it is. Basically, it's just a basic screenshot of the guy holding the sword with some text and an arrow pointing at it. It's simple, and it still displays what the video is about. See what I mean? Something else you could do for extra detail to make it stand out more is, instead of doing a diamond sword, in fact, let me do this. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate the layer. I'm gonna delete the one on top. So why I'm doing this is it's because if I go over here and enable this, if I go to image, if I go to adjustments, H2 saturation, look at what I could do. Oh yeah, something to keep in mind while doing stuff like this is you always want to go to a blur effect. So when doing stuff like this, I always go to a blur effect and do this. It works perfectly. It like blends it in with the normal footage. And look at that. That's a good thumbnail. If I posted that right now, it would get more than 3,000 views in a day. So basically what I mean by blurring is like when you do something that changes only a certain part. For example, let's just say I wanted like a patch of brighter grass for some reason. So I used the dots tool. So I could do this. Now it looks good. Now it looks like brighter grass. When I do this, it looks weird. See that? It looks weird. It's just a random thing there. So I can use this right here. Blur out the edges and boom. It blends it in perfectly. That still doesn't look good, but that's just an example to make it look like actually it's in there. So there we go. That's the first example of how to edit a good, basic, and simple thumbnail. But let's just say, what about the other text? What do I mean by two text? This text can also be used probably for the same thing. It just wouldn't look as good. Because I'd kind of have a feeling what kind of text would look good in specific thumbnails. For example, when there's a new game mode releasing in Blox Studio, you always want to do more simple text, or like an update with a lot more going on, and you don't want too much focus on the text. But yeah, this right here is a thumbnail. That I didn't even add all the detail yet. So I'm gonna make a quick thumbnail of a prison. Like I broke into this Blox Studio S&P strongest prison. This isn't gonna look that good, but it's just gonna be a quick example. Okay, so I'm just gonna build a basic thing right here. And again, you do have to know how to use these editing apps and know what all the tools are, because I'm not teaching you how to use them in this. There's plenty of tutorials how to use the apps. In this video, I'm just explaining how to make better thumbnails. How to make them when you do know how to make them. And while I'm doing this, I guess I can tell you why simple thumbnails are better. The thing is, people don't click on your thumbnails for how good the thumbnails look. People click on your thumbnails for the video. Like, they really don't care how good your how crazy your thumbnails are. They care about the video they're about to watch. So it's not about creating the best looking thumbnails. It's about the good thumbnails that just represent the video the best. Like interesting thumbnails that people would want to click on. Really, that's why some simple thumbnails were like this, like with just a screenshot with some basic editing, get a lot of views. It's because it's so something the viewers want to see. Anyways, let me take the screenshot real quick. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Okay, so this video is going to be called I Broke into Blox Studio's Strongest Prison. It's a pretty good video. If I posted this, it would most likely get 3,000, maybe it would probably get 2.5 thousand views in a day. Or more, that's like the least. So let's import this to Blox to enter. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the background. Like when I say background, I mean sky. I'll show you how I'm going to do this in a second, but for now, let's do this. Selection doesn't have to be 100% absolutely perfect. Because again, you could use that blur trick where you just blur the area you selected, like the exact area you selected. That's the background removed. Now I need to add the sky. Alright, so see this? I'm going to add a sky. So it kind of looks too bright right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to saturation. I'm going to turn the saturation all the way down. And I'm going to turn blur, Gaussian blur. See that? Oh yeah, a trick is it's always good to blur out the background if you guys don't know that. Like for example, if you're making a video thumbnail, I recommend blurring the background like this. See the way I blurred it? Because you want to make attention to the front. I think I already said that. Okay, so again, look at the edges. They look off. You can tell that they've been edited. So what you can do, object must be rasterized. See that? Boom. Now it looks perfect. It looks like nothing's been tampered with. Or maybe it does look like, but at least it looks good now. It doesn't look out of place. Okay, so another effect I can usually do is this. This right here is a mud PNG, so I'm going to add this to the top. At first, it's not going to look good at all. It's going to overwhelm the entire thumbnail. But what you could do with stuff like this is you could go to it and turn the opacity down to 9. And in fact, I don't think this looks good. The background I use doesn't even look good. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to go to blur. I'm going to turn this to a 10 blur. That's not that bad. Okay, so see that automatically looks really good. It's not even finished. It can get even better. So let's just say I want to make it look even better for parts like this, I can add more detail by adding something like this to the top. Oh wait, this could actually look good. And I can turn the saturation down. Actually, if I turn the saturation down, so basically saturation is color. If there's no saturation, there's not really any color. Turn it to 3. Okay, that's actually a good looking. You know what would be looking even cooler is if I put it on the background. So it looks like rain. Oh, that's smart. So now it looks like rain. or at least kind of. Okay, so see that thumbnail? So it might not be perfect. You could probably make it look better, but this is already a thumbnail that would get me 3,000 views in one day. It just looks good. Like, people see the thumbnail and they'll be like, oh, that kind of looks cool, and they're gonna click on it. They don't click on it for how good the thumbnail looks. They click on it for the video they're about to watch. Obviously, the thumbnail looks absolutely terrible, but it's a good idea. They might not click it because they might think it's unprofessional. It's not going to be that good. To summarize everything I've showed you, make your thumbnails as simple as possible. Make it clearly show what the video is for. Like, make people clearly understand what they're about to watch. And just practice. Like, the more... Like, I'll show you what my thumbnails looked like years ago. Yes, this right here is when I first activated thumbnails. And oh my god, it was terrible. So, yeah. See, now you understand. So if you just keep making thumbnails for a long time, same as everything in life, you're just gonna naturally get better. Like, these thumbnails, look at this. These were my thumbnails before. Oh yeah, there's another useful video by BloxdMayhems where he explained a lot more about Blox Studio on YouTube and how to grow. I recommend that video. Anyways, link in the description. Anyways, bye guys, subscribe.